My name is Vida Brown, and I live in Norfolk, Virginia. I stay in the Berkeley section of Norfolk. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I went through a year of chemotherapy in 2019, a full year of chemotherapy, and 3 surgical procedures in the hospital. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was not in denial. I knew it was real, but I accepted it, but I just didn't. People thought something was wrong with me because the way that I was taking it. I wasn't numb, I wasn't in denial or anything. I was just like, I guess it is what it is. But I believed in God, and I believed that I was gonna make it through. So I kept it a secret up until the time for me to go into surgery, about 2 weeks before surgery. But I knew that I was diagnosed with breast cancer for like 3 months. So I carried it around, just me. My income drastically changed when I was diagnosed with breast cancer and having to go to treatment, and then after the surgery visits. I was living from check to check. I had no other means of support but my own. So when my income slashed, I felt that I was gonna lose everything. I felt I was gonna lose everything that I had owned and worked hard for throughout the years. The ones that wanted to help me weren't able to help me because they were struggling themselves. And then when I was at the hospital at Center of Norfolk General, Mary came to me and she asked me, "Do you need some help?" And I said, "Yes." And then she told me about this angel. I call her Big Mama, from Daniel's Grace. I was home in my bedroom. It was March. March was my birthday month, and I was dealing with cancer treatment at the same time. And I was in my bedroom crying. I said, "God, I don't know what I'm gonna do." And my phone rang, and I believe her name was Elizabeth from Daniel's Grace. They stepped in. I had nothing left. They paid all my bills. They gave me a hand up. You know, you hear people saying a hand out, but they gave me a hand up until I was able to get back on my feet. I couldn't believe it. You hear of these things and other big organizations, but I never expected no one to come in the area where I was living to help me. Just me, just my income, just me. They paid the house, the lights, the water, gas. They took care of the car insurance. They took care of everything. I couldn't believe it. When she was asking me for account numbers, the next day I was dialing the numbers too, and they kept saying paid, 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 paid. You know, when you're going through chemo, you can't eat anyway. My mouth was blistered from the chemo treatment. God, I lost all my hair. My nails melted off. And I felt like I was, I don't know, numb. But these angels came to my rescue. Even I took the full year of treatment in 2019 before they shut us down. And in 2020, I got another phone call. It was my angels. They brought me food that was already prepared. One box had toilet tissue in it, and you know that was priceless during the pandemic. Everyone that came to my home was so kind, so generous. It was people coming up and they had their children with them with masks on, bringing me food that I couldn't hardly eat. But I ate because they said I had to eat to get strong. Chemo is a beast, but it's nothing compared to the precious blood of Jesus. And I believed that he would heal me, and he did. My niece, she's 24 years old. She was 23 at the time. We both was going through chemotherapy together. She passed that August, but I'm still here. I've seen what the chemo can do to a family, but God, and people like Daniel's Grace that came out of nowhere in this section where I was living, where you expect, when you see these commercials on TV, it's big people, you know. I've given to a lot of organizations with cancer, you know, but I never thought that I would be impacted by cancer. My niece passed, but I'm still here. And I would never forget what Daniel's Grace done for me mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. They was truly a hand up during the most devastating time of my life. I went in the operating room 3 times. But every time I came out, you might not believe me, my angels would call unexpectedly, just when I needed it. When I didn't know where the food was coming from or how the bills were going to be paid. I am more than grateful and forever, ever thankful to my angels at Daniel's Grace.